Hey, coaches, welcome back. Football Talk with Coach Chip. First episode in a while. Y'all know that have been subscribing for the nearly 2 years. I've had this channel that during the season I kind of take a break from it because I try to focus on my guys. And I was coaching a great bunch of offensive linemen this year. It's an ideal retirement gig for an old football coach, an old offensive line guy, an old OC and an old quarterback coach all rolled into one just to get to coach offensive linemen, some big old boys. And it took a while. We put in a new system, went from a wing T the last couple of years where they were, and we went to more of a spread look, more inside outside zone with a little bit of gap scheme, of course. Got to have that. And looking pretty good for the future over there. But I want to talk to you today about a simple to install RPO for your inside run game, and I believe you can run it with almost any inside run. Okay, without further ado, let's get to it. Now, the first time I drew this up and showed it to a bunch of coaches, kind of like my brain trust of guys that I emailed and text this to and said, "Hey, what do you think?" And most of them said the same thing. They said, "Oh, we love it." But why'd you have it going to the left? I don't know. Maybe I'm left-brained. But so I flipped it to the right side. So all you guys out there that said that, because but to me, you got to run it both ways, I guess. Um, but if you're at a small school or a youth or rec, and I think this is a RPO that you can run with any level. And I saw my guy Joe Moorhead run something similar to this, but it had a lot more moving parts with pre-snap motion and things like that. And y'all know I try to keep it simple because my target audience is high school coaches, especially small school coaches with guys that have players that go both ways, which means limited practice time because you can't keep them out there for 4 hours, 2 hours of offense, 2 hours of defense, or 3 hours, hour and a half, like the big schools get. Think about it. A 2-hour practice at a really big high school to get the same thing done at a small school would take 4 hours. Okay, 3.5 if you're doing an hour and a half, and about 30-minute special teams. So that's my aiming point. And junior high guys and JV guys and rec league, youth league guys that are limited in their prep time and they're limited in their practice time. All right, let's look at this. I just drew this up against basic what I call inside power. It's a tag that we'll do off our inside zone game, where we'll wrap the guard if they give us a 3 and a 1 or a 3 and a 2-eye. But you can do it off straight inside run. You can do it off of anything. You can do it off trap. Okay, if you're a gun wing T guy, you can do this off a trap. All right, first off, let's look from the very beginning. Pre-snap, over here you got the access throw, the gift, whatever you want to call it, the leverage throw. And you check this guy right here. If he is out here in space guarding grass, he's really not guarding grass. He's taking away the backside slant. He's taking away the pre-snap throw. All right, but if he's in here where he can fall back in and help, take it. That's a gift. Okay, you need to have a really good wide receiver that can win this one-on-one right here. Push. I always like to push when you're one-on-one like this. Get an outside release, an outside exit off the line. Make that corner think you're running fade. A lot of coaches don't like fade. They say it's a 50-50 throw. But you need to run it a lot. Not throw it a lot, but run it a lot. Because remember, now you're talking about a kid, and you're pushing him deep all night. Let's say you're running sweep right, stretch right, buck right, back over here. Just have this guy, just give him the fade. Stress this kid. Stress him, stress him, stress him. So when you do need, let's say you've been gashing them inside, and so they put this guy in the box to help out, okay? And now you come back and you got this, and you push hard outside like you're going to go down the yellow brick road. Go back and look up yellow brick road from season 1 a little over a year and a half ago. It's a great drill for running the deep ball. Right here, push him outside, and then boom, slant, glance, whatever it is. Angle, of course, isn't dependent on where the safety is, where the linebacker is, right there, and it's taking candy from a baby. You've got leverage. When this guy is not out here, you've got leverage out here. Okay. When you have threatened this kid, even though you only threw it once on 2nd and 2, but you've ran the fade 5 or 6 times, he does not want to get burned deep. He's on an island. Push him, slant in, and take it. All right, so you've done that a time or two. Well, they said, we got to get this kid some help. All right, let's look at it when they take it away and they don't have the box loaded up. Okay. So they move the backer out here. You no longer have that leverage. So that throw is not there. Okay. Now, what is the post-snap read? This guy right here. He may be here. Okay, maybe here. Now you can widen him out if they'll widen with you, because that makes for even better box. Okay. But I like my H attached. I don't mean on the line necessarily, because now he's not really an H because he can't move. To me, H means hybrid. He's a fullback, he's a tight end, he's a wingback, he's a receiver. That's what H means. First time I remember hearing of an H back in the NFL 40 years ago. I remember the coach talking about it. Never heard of an H back. I was like in high school in the late 70s. And I want to say it was the guy that was the coach at the Falcons, and he also coached with the Redskins. I can see it's Dan Henning. It's the first one I heard mention it. And a reporter said, what's H stand for? He said hybrid, because he's everything. Okay. He's a lineman because he's a tight end. He's a fullback because they can move him around. They didn't use the term sniffer 40 years ago. All right. All these things. So I like him attached, but if you're and a bunch of y'all are going to have him attached because that's the way you do it. By the way, you can put him on the line and back this guy up, and you still got the same concept. All right, so here's the read right here. This is your post-snap read. Okay. If he expands when this guy releases outside, and he's got to release down the line, kind of behind the line. So these blocks here will be legal, and you won't have illegal man downfield or offensive pass interference. Okay. And you don't worry about a man downfield if he releases flat. It's the slide screen. Okay. Clemson did it. You know, all the Alabama fans, which I am one, but a bunch of my fellow Alabama brethren nutted up over it and said, you know, they were blocking downfield, but if you go back and look at it, they said it was an illegal pick. It was a screen. It was a screen. The receiver wasn't downfield. And so it made it legal. And that's what you got to do to make your lineman right, make your lineman legal. And of course, to make these blocks legal where it won't be offensive pass interference. If this outside backer expands right here, you give. It's simple because you got numbers. You got a hat on a hat, as we say. Okay, you got a man for a man. And you got numbers. Now it just comes down to you making blocks and them defeating blocks. That's what it comes down to. But they don't have you outnumbered. So when this guy, because you don't want to just call the play and hope and pray that this guy runs with him. Remember, you're coaching against kids too. You don't know. I mean, this is not major college football or the NFL where you know that backer is going to run with that guy because he's got him. You don't know that. Okay, so you call a straight run, you block everybody. He's a free runner. He's making the tackle right here. Okay, but if you read this joker and he expands out with the slide screen by the H, you got a hat for a hat. You can't ask for more. You could ask for more. You could ask for to have a +1. Okay, but that's not the real world. All right, so you give it if he expands. If you've had success running it, this guy here is now tired of y'all gashing them in this play side A gap. Quarterback, by the way, opens up to the read. You can't read out the back of your head. You know, your quarterback's not a mother yet. You know how mothers, when we were kids, had eyes in the back of their head. So open up right here, seat the ball, stick it in the running back's belly, and read this guy. Good old-fashioned triple option football. All right. If the guy comes inside, disconnect, I got the line too long right here. Take one step back and hum it right here. Very catchable ball right here. Number 1 and number 2, stalking the corner and the outside backer, the hold player. Okay. Now you've got numbers. You got 3 on 2. And you also got a hat for a hat out here. Okay. This is why I like the RPO game. Okay, I had a friend of mine years ago that said, don't call plays a play behind. here's what I'm saying. If you're not running RPO, you're just running this scheme and you're just counting on being right, you're guessing because last time this guy ran in here and this time you're going to throw it out here. Well, if his coach said, hey, don't do that. If you do that, they're going to throw it out there. So now he knows what to do. He expands too late. You've already told the quarterback to throw it. He's unblocked. He makes the tackle right there, if not worse, if you know what I mean, coming right here and undercutting. And their band's playing, and that's a bad thing. Okay, RPOs prevent you from calling the game a play behind. All right, let's look at one more scenario with it. All right, now here it is. Now this is against that D coordinator, and you all know them. I've got good friends that are this guy, that if they're 4-4, 4-2-5 guys, they're going to give you a 4-2 box. They're going to give you a 6-man box. Unless you just empty the backfield, they're going to give you 4-2. You also know those guys that run the 3-3 or the 3-5, whatever you want to call it. They're going to give you a 6-man box. You're going to have to empty the backfield to break that box. Okay, so this is for teams like that, or teams that just won't adjust, or they rather adjust with their safety. Here's what I mean. They're keeping this guy over here. Boom. You're out leveraged over here on the pre-snap. He's sitting right in the throwing alley, right in the lane. Okay, that's done. Teach your quarterback all about leverage. I also go back and look up leverage. Type in Coach Chip on the search, leverage. What is leverage? And look at that. Teach your quarterback what leverage is, especially pre-snap leverage. Post-snap leverage is a good thing, but with young quarterbacks, teach them pre-snap leverage. All right, now look in the box. They got you outnumbered, guys. It's 5-on-6. Okay, if you put a hat on a hat and block everybody, and this guy here can play a lick, he's making your play right here. Okay, you're outnumbered. Now, in this case, it's not an RPO. Okay, because there's nobody to read, really. Why read this guy? Okay, you're not putting him in conflict. He's out here. He's the whole player. Okay, apex player, outside backer, whatever you want to call him. His responsibility is not in here. His responsibility is out here. He's reading these guys. Okay, that's who he's focused on. So don't read him. Don't read anybody. Just go ahead and tell your quarterback, you've got leverage. This now becomes a pre-snap read. Okay, I know it says post, but it's post-pre. This becomes a pre-snap. They got 6 in the box. You don't need to be running the football if you got a way out of it. That's another great thing about the RPO. It keeps you out of bad plays. Okay, because there's nothing worse as a play caller, and I've been there, when you're on the sideline or you're in the box, wherever you call your plays, and you look at what the defense is doing, and you go, oh, crap. Okay, and you don't want to burn a timeout because it's early in the game, early in the half. You don't want to call a timeout. Oh, crap, I hope it works out. This takes the oh, crap, I hope out of it. Okay, and it's real simple. And this is pre-snap. All you got to do, tell your quarterback, hey, we got numbers. We're 3-on-2 out here because the safety is slid over. And now they're playing trips with the safety over the top of the trips. So all they're trying to do is they're saying, we're going to use this, take away bubble and take away quick stuff. This guy's going to take the flat. This guy here is going to go deep. This guy here, if you run one of these guys in here, boom, he's got him. And a lot of teams do that, especially in your smaller schools. Okay, again, we're going back to limited practice time. Okay, where coaches have to be magicians and pull stuff out of their hat. They pull it out of other places too. Okay, sometimes we have to. Tell your quarterback, same play, but stick it in the guy's gut. And you can even tell the back, excuse me, tell the back, hey, I'm keeping it. That way you don't have any mix up. He's not going to lock down on it because anybody's run option football knows sometimes those backs will lock down on that ball because they see something the quarterback doesn't see and they're saying, give it to me. Tell the running back, hey, it's me. Stick it in his gut, flash fake that joker, one step back, hit your slide right here, the H on the slide, and boom, you're 2-on-2 here, 3-on-2 counting the ball carrier, the receiver, and then you're 1-on-1 in the open field with the free safety. Okay, if it's a heck of a free safety, a good open field tackler, he comes flying up, makes the tackle right here. Look at there, that's good math. Plus, because you got 4 or 5 yards on a rundown. Who's not going to take 4 or 5 yards on a rundown? You've listened to the channel, you've listened to other videos. I've said that before. You don't throw RPOs on 3rd and 6. Okay, because if they take away the pass option, you're running the ball on 3rd and 6. Does that make sense? You don't on a pass, whatever a passing down is to you, you don't run RPO unless you just know something. And we've done that before, where we tell the quarterback, no matter what, throw it, because we know it's going to be there. Like, for instance, he's in here. Tell this guy to win inside, carry it deep, and you got a pretty good football play right there, and you're going to get a first down, right? If you know something. But as a general rule, you don't RPO on passing down, okay? And plus, if you're giving the quarterback the signal to throw it no matter what, it's no longer an RPO. It's just a passing concept, a quick passing concept with a little PA, with a little flash fake. All right, so that's a real simple, super simple RPO that you can run with trap, inside zone, this little one back power that I've got drawn up here, okay? Your inside run. Some of y'all run belly at a gun, okay? You can do that. You can do that and play with it. I don't do that. So I don't know. Play with it. So look at your inside run game and see what you can do, okay? And look how teams play you and see what you can do, okay? Hey, that's over 16 minutes in. We're seeing y'all more and more and more. Please, if you haven't already, click on subscribe. Go ahead and click the bell so you'll get the reminder when I post new ones, and there are going to be more new ones coming up over the next several weeks. As I do this, it is early November, and got a week coming up for Thanksgiving, and then we got the Christmas break, and I love doing things. I'll probably just do I'll binge upload videos on this here YouTube page, Football Talk with Coach Chip. Also, remember, Football Talk with Coach Chip on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm at Coach Chip Siegel. Okay. Also have the Coach Chip page, which kind of deals with all kind of things, psychology of sports, stuff like that. Also post some, college football stuff, just messing around kind of thing. And don't forget our friends at right-equipment.com. Right-equipment.com. Okay, Leo Wright and all of his guys, a bunch of former coaches, they know what it's like. They know what it's like to have a tight budget. They know what it's like to be where you are. Okay. Alan Creasy, recently retired state championship football coach in the state of Alabama's up there, and a whole host of others. And the ones that aren't former football coaches or big time weightlifters, they know what you need. These aren't a bunch of guys just selling weight equipment. Okay. You got budget limitations like most of us do, because remember, the people I aim this at probably do. Okay. They can help you out. They do a lot of refurbishing of equipment. I've seen some weight rooms they've done with totally refurbished equipment for a fraction of the cost of buying new equipment like your big time programs would get. And it's very doable for small programs. Okay, until next time, like I always like to tell you, be elite.